Hey, good morning on this nice and cloudy Wednesday morning here in Krugersdorp. It's Aaron here from PWG Auto again. Today we have a Jeep Renegade that customer brought it in. It's due for service, and customer did complain about a noise on the wheels while you're driving slowly, like grinding, scraping noise, and a suspension noise, and also when he uses the cruise control, that it sometimes drops the cruise control and goes into limp mode. So we will test drive it and see if we can confirm some complaints. Alright, so in the car, like any other service, we started and checked for any warning lights. This one does have a tire pressure monitoring light, but we were told to leave that alone. So let's go for a drive. I can already hear the squeaking sound when you're driving slowly. Alright, so I don't know if the camera can hear that, but there's definitely a squeaking noise there, and when I press a brake, it squeaks a bit louder. I think the brakes are just worn. Don't think I'll go too far with this. I can hear a bit of a noise on the suspension, but again, I don't know if the camera will find it. So yeah, anyways, when you do a road test for service, just listen for all kinds of noises. Again, clanks and clunks, trying to identify if there's anything going on, wheel bearing noises, so forth. Just so you know what to look for when you do put it on the lift. So yeah, we'll get it back to the shop and put it on the waist and see what we can see. Alright, so back from road test. Just to recap, we did confirm the customer complaints on the suspension noise and the other squeaking noise while driving, which I suspect is the brakes. That's metal to metal. So I did not confirm the complaint about cruise control and going into limp mode. I didn't feel comfortable driving the car on the highway with brakes in this condition, so I think we'll just scan it and see what fault codes come up, and then trace according to that. For now, we're just going to carry on and do the light check and see if everything is okay. Alright, park lights, yeah, headlights dims bright. Just bright it. There we go. Indicators. Yeah. Yeah, and obviously fog lights also working. Let's check the back. Alright. Yeah, brake. That's good. Indicators. Yep. Yep. And fog lights. Yep. Alright, awesome. And then number plate lights. That is working. Awesome. So yeah, just to recap, Renegade around I think 2016, 1.4 turbo. So let's get it on the waist and or first scan it at least, and then get it on the waist and see what we see. Alright, fault code in the fault memory and the engine ECU is P0236, air leakage in turbocharger, signal compare failure. So we will go ahead and check that boost pipes and stuff, intake manifold, breathers and so on for leaks. I think we'll go ahead and smoke it maybe and see if there's any leaks, try and diagnose that fault. Okay, our Jeep is on the lift. We did go ahead and check everything for service. The I always start in the back. Shock absorbers, fuel lines, brake lines, exhaust system, shocks, again, if I didn't mention it, all the bushes and stuff. And then on the brake check, let me show you what I found. On the rear brakes, not too much going on. That badge is a little bit on the thin side. Disc is okay, so we'll go ahead and go to customer on rear pads. Did happen to see on the back tire is quite some cracks going on here. I guess these things are too old maybe. I don't really see a manufacturing date, but I'll just inform him that this tire is getting dangerous, need to be replaced. Right, on our front brakes, we've got massive ridges here. This is too thin to skim, so we'll go ahead and quote on new pads and discs. That pad there is literally metal to metal, already touching here on the lip. And then under the car we did go ahead and check the entire suspension through. All the control arm bushes and stuff doesn't look too bad, but did find this stabilizer link that connects between stabilizer bar and the shock absorber. It's really dry, and I'm sure that is the creaking noise that we are hearing from the suspension. Also, there's some play in it, so we'll go ahead and quote a customer on the brakes and the stabilizer links, and then we still have to just smoke that intake system, see if we have any leaks, try and diagnose that air leak fault. We're about to smoke the thing. Got the little coupler here on the intake, just to show you. Brake fluid nice and clean, coolant is in good condition. On the air intake leaks, I would recommend just a nice visual inspection of the engine breathers, all these little pipes, this evap pipes, solenoids and stuff. Just a nice visual inspection. Make sure nothing is cracked and broken, because that could easily be your fault. All these things. And if you don't find anything, go ahead and smoke the system and see if you can identify a problem. Okay, smoke machine is smoking. Okay, it's connected. Then just go ahead and check all your boost pipes, all the connections, the whole intake, and if there's smoke anywhere, just try and identify it. Check your intercooler. This one is nice and visible from the outside. Yeah, no problems here. I want to see a little bit of smoke. Yeah, a bit of smoke coming out of this this air inlet hose. But anyway, there's a good example of what it's going to look like. Yeah, so on this Jeep there's no other intake leaks. We did thoroughly check the intake manifold, all the vacuum hoses and the evap pipes and stuff. That little small leak on the air inlet hose is not the problem, that's for sure. So I guess next, turbo failures on these 1.4s is pretty common as far as I know. I think we'll take it apart, go ahead and check that wastegate flap and see if that thing's got play in it. Oh, also I needed to mention, and I did it off camera, this boost solenoid, you have to check it and make sure that it is functioning nicely. And I do recommend also putting some pressure into that this accumulator here. Make sure that rod moves as it is supposed to. Alright, this is the setup here. We've just got a normal air nozzle into a hose onto that turbo actuator. Give it some. Alright, that actuator moves nicely, and the air, keep it closed. Okay, anyways, the actuator does hold pressure and that rod does move nicely. Let's get it unclipped and check the wastegate, that little wastegate arm, see if there's play in it. Give me a long nose or something, bro, that thing's super hot. Just alright, that thing is alright. So that bushing in there is pretty worn, and also don't know if you can hear that dry. So ultimately what happens is the little wastegate flap on the inside doesn't seat nicely on its seat, and the turbo cannot, basically if the wastegate is not closed, it's impossible for the turbo to reach boost pressure or the required boost pressure. That's why we got that fault code. So when the boost is low, the boost pressure sensor does not see the amount of boost it's supposed to, and then it triggers a fault code. So we'll go ahead and get a quote for that turbo repair, or maybe a new one, and then we'll see what the customer says. Unfortunately, it's not a phone call I want to make to him. It's going to be expensive. Anyways, I'll give feedback shortly. Hi, good morning. We're back on our Jeep. I did speak to the customer yesterday. He did give me go ahead to remove the turbo and send it for repair. And we're going to do the repair on the brakes also. So Tulasizwe is going to expertly remove everything, and then we'll take a closer look when everything is apart.
They came out top, they will make your mind pop. No problem can hide, they will corner from the side. WG Auto, all the best to me. They be WG Auto, we will put them to the test. They came out top, they will make your mind pop. No problem can hide, they will corner on the side. G-O-T-G
Alright, so we have our Jeep turbo off. I just put this exhaust housing in the vise, so long. This is the compressor side with a core here, just so that you can see. So when you take this apart in the car, you just mark your housings so that you can line it up the way it came apart. But I just want to hold it like this to show you. So this is the actuator rod that pulls the wastegate closed here. Let's put that down. Alright, yeah, let me show you from this side. This window shaft wears out like that, or it's actually the bushing there in the housing that wears out. Don't know if you can see, but when you do, that would be wastegate open, you know, to dump the exhaust gas and not let it go over the turbine. When it closes and that shaft is worn, when you actually close it, it does open. Because of that angle, the wastegate is not closed properly and it is actually opening at the back. So that means when that little flap is not closed properly, all the exhaust gas, or some of the exhaust gas, escapes and not all of it goes over the wheel. And that's why you have low boost pressure. I hope that helps. I hope it's informative. So anyways, we are getting this turbo sent out to be refurbished and the shaft bushing to be replaced and repaired. And as soon as we get it back, we'll show you how we install it. Anyway, just maybe a little bit of a better shot. Just to show when that thing is fully closed, because of the arm bushing being worn, instead of being fully closed, that flap is standing a little bit open. I think that's a bit of a better view of it, so that you can see. Hi, good morning. It's a new day. We're back on our Jeep. I'm going to show you step by step how we do front brakes and also the rear brakes. So let's get to it. Start by taking off this little dust caps here on the caliper. And then bolts in there is 7mm Allen key. Let's get those out. Front here is a little wire clip. Let's get that out. Just pry it out and screw it out. We will take those pins out a little later, clean them, lubricate them so they don't seize. Alright, caliper up and out of the way. Little stuff. We'll see. Yeah, she's a little stubborn. Push her back. There we go. Yeah, pretty thin. You can see here, it's a way indicator that was touching on the disc and making that horrible squeaking sound. Yeah. caliper out of the way. It's just a normal piece of wire. Try not to put extra tension on that brake hose. Okay. Let's see if we get this caliper frame loose just with the impact. Nope. She's tight. This particular caliper, there's no rattle clips. It just uses the little clip that clips into the caliper there, and then the wire on the outside. But anyway, still good practice to clean this. Take your wife's toothbrush and just get that surface as clean. There's no reason to get all of this super clean. You just get your contact surfaces clean, and then we'll lubricate that with a little bit of copper slip also when we assemble it. Alright. This particular disc is held by one 5L8 bolt. Pretty simple. Please get hammer. Oh, thanks. Alright. Just a couple of smacks to get her loose. That one didn't work. Let's get a bigger one. Hammer. Let's get this in to hold it a bit. All right. Yeah, this one is stubborn. There we go. So again, this surface on the hub, just make sure it's clean. It doesn't have to be squeaky clean. Just make sure that your new disc have a good surface to mate on, and then that's good to go. It's okay. All right. There we go. Give that a little wipe. A little bolt that holds the disc down, just give it a little bit of copper slip anti-seize, just so that it doesn't rust in there and make it hard for the next time it comes out. Alright. The new brake discs, always clean the friction surface with some kind of solvent. This happens to be thinners. It's good enough. Brake cleaner, car cleaner, anything really will work. Just make sure there's no more oil on that surface where the brake pad is going to contact. Yeah. So don't have to go super tight on this, just a little nip. It's good enough. Alright. Let's get our caliper frame back on, I guess. There we go. Also on these bolts I do recommend a little bit of anti-seize, just so I don't rust. Some people do put Loctite there. I don't think it's necessary. I've never seen these come loose if it's properly tightened. But yeah, if you want to use Loctite, feel free, I guess. Make it extra hard for you for next time. You can torque these if you want to. I just make sure they are tight. You use the torque spec FT. What does FT stand for, Tulasiwe? Very tight. Okay. All right. Let's get our caliper pins out. Just give these slide pins a little clean. Get the dust off. If they are rusted and corroded, I do recommend just replace it. But these are still in good condition. Also, if you do take this step every time you replace brakes, and just lubricate these pins a bit, They won't actually corrode. So make sure sometimes there are different lengths. These are the same. If there are different lengths, just check which one comes from where. Make sure it goes back in there. That's all. All right. We also recommend just a little contact surface where the brake pad touches the metal. You've got a little anti-seize also. Don't overdo this stuff. A little bit goes a long way. Thank you. Alright, this little tool makes life a little bit easier. So always make sure the piston is pushed back nice and straight. If it starts going tight, you know you've got it skew, and then just release it and reposition. There's also nothing wrong doing this with a screwdriver while the caliper is still tighter to the frame. That also does work. Alright. Alright, let's install our pads. Again, just a little bit of anti-seize on that piston where it contacts the pad, and on the inside of the caliper where this contact patch also touches the pad. Don't go overboard. Again, a little bit goes a long way. All right. This pad just get clipped in there. It's a little bit tricky, but oops, there it goes. All right. And we can check and feel that everything feels good. Just little slide pins. Does cross thread very easy. Take care to put them in straight. It is quite the pain in the backside when you do cross thread those things, so take care. Okay. These ones we just took it to TE. What's TE to Lassiswe? Tight enough?
Tight enough.
Your little dust caps back, don't forget those. Otherwise water and dirt will go in there. Not good. Alright. Last thing, a little anti-rattle clip. Fortunately, brake pad manufacturers are cheap these days. They don't put this in the new kits anymore. But there's also nothing wrong with the old one. It's still in good condition. It's not corroded. It will still work for a long time. So just trying to get it in position, hold it, and sacrifice your fingers. There we go. There we go. I do recommend when you do install brake pads and discs, make sure when it is installed that your brake pads and discs line up nicely. You have seen it before where especially in the aftermarket, when the pads and the disc is not accurately made and it doesn't fit properly. This at least is decent parts. I always have a saying, cheap parts is not good, and good parts is not cheap. So make your decision when you buy stuff. Anyways, I'm only showing you one side. We'll move on to the back. I'll show you now. Okay, on our Jeep, we're going to do back brakes. This one does have electronic park brake. So you have to retract motors with a diagnostic machine. I have seen guys do it with like disconnecting the calipers and putting power to it. I don't recommend that. This is much better and safer. So it's pretty simple. We're going to go maintenance mode, yes, and activate maintenance mode. Okay, so we need to release the park brake. Please release it for us, Tilasizwe. Get in there. Alright, let's say okay. Let's try this again. Activate maintenance. I don't know if you get camera can hear, but the calipers are retracting. So when it stops, just go ahead and switch your ignition off, just to prevent accidental, just to prevent the calipers from activating accidentally while your fingers are in there. That's going to be a bad day. So, all right, let's go ahead and do that back brakes. Let's get the car up in the air. All right, we've got the wheel off. So our caliper is retracted. Let's go ahead and I did start to undo this one already. Just get your little bolts out. This happens to be a 17 and 13 on this particular car. My gift is leaving completely. Alright, just gonna try and unclip this caliper plug just to prove, as a precaution not to break it. Give me a little screwdriver with this on a pick. Alright, there we go, I got it. Okay, and this. So a little push tool, please. Okay, so a little push tool. Again, make sure your piston goes back nice and straight. And reset if it's not. Let's see. Alright, let's get a caliper out of the way here. Let's Alright, let's do some maintenance. My little screwdriver. See. All right. So, just on these pads, you can see there are about 30–40%. Could have actually just gone a bit more, but on this side, let me show you. There's your little wear. I don't know if I can see that. It's your little wear indicator, and there's literally maybe 2 or 3 mils left before it was touching the wear indicator and start making a noise. So as a rule of thumb, I do recommend when you do check brakes on service and it's the same thickness or close to the backing plate, just go ahead and replace it. Make sure it lasts till the next service. Save you a headache. Alright, then let's start cleaning this. Wife's toothbrush. Just get all the brake dust and stuff off. Again, this stuff doesn't have to be shiny bright. It just needs to be clean enough to do the job, not get stuck. Luckily there's not too much build-up on this. Also, those brake pad clips, inspect them thoroughly. If there's any wear or damage or corrosion, just get a new set. The last thing you want is rattling brake pads. Alright, then slide pins here. Just get me a rack also, please. These little slide pins, take them out, clean them. Because I do seize if you don't, and when it does seize, you will have a problem with brake pads wearing unevenly or other kinds of problems. So just a small little step, don't skip it, just do it. Make sure your boots on. Alright, again, let's clean it. Again, don't overdo the, and he says a small amount goes a long, long way. And the stuff also does get everywhere, that's for sure. Okay. A little bit down the clips, contact surfaces, and again, not too much. See. Then on the caliper also, bit of anti-seize there on the piston, contact surface, also the other contact surface where the brake pads is touching. Okay. Install it back. New pads. Just always check that your the wear indicator is on the back pad. Kind of need to wiggle them in, turn them. There we go. There we go. There we go. Good. Next one. Anyways, some pads, don't make this mistake, don't put the other wear indicator in the same side. Make sure it goes to the other side. Also, just sometimes check on the back side of these pads. You might get differences where with the pins people do get it wrong, so just check that this thing is properly flat the way it's supposed to go. So yeah, just check your backside. The old pads is actually a good example of this. There we go. I don't know if you can see the difference in the pins here. Inside pad, the pins is wide, and the outside pad, it's narrow together to miss the caliper. So just pay attention to this. On this particular case, we don't have that issue with the new pads, but that sometimes is something people get wrong. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, let me finish this thing up. Let's get the other one in. No. That's it. All right. Again, just make sure that your pads is not going over the disc. It does sometimes happen that, again, like I mentioned earlier, the manufacturer is not quite accurate, and when disc pads hang over the disc, you're going to get some noises later on. Also, check the bottom, make sure it's the same there, and then it's it. That's it. Let's go ahead and put our caliper back. Okay, this bolt's also put Loctite if you want. I don't think it's necessary. If you make sure it's tight enough, it won't come loose. That's it. Next. Brake pad manufacturers always used to supply new bolts, new hardware in the kits. They don't do it anymore. But again, nothing wrong with the old ones. It's perfectly safe to reuse. Obviously, if it is worn out and there's damage, go ahead and replace it. But these are still in good condition and will still go a long time. Just not FT, just TE, tight enough. Alright, put the caliper back in, make sure it's clipped, and then just make sure that your brake lines clips is back in. Everything is perfect the way it's supposed to be. Okay. Alright, this set of brake pads are expertly installed. We'll go ahead and knock out the other side quickly, and then I'll show you on the diagnostic machine just to deactivate the maintenance. I'm not going to do it now, but just as a rule of thumb, after you did brakes, get in, give it a good pump to get the brake pads seated on the discs before you start driving. Otherwise you're going to have a heart attack if you don't do that, and the first time you press the brakes then there's nothing. So take care of that little step. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the other side quick. Right, well, busy with brakes. I just quickly installed the stabilizer links also. It's an old one. That was the one that was so creaky and noisy, and that's obviously why the boot is torn, and dirt and water got in there, destroys it. So pretty simple. Down on the stabilizer bar, loosen with a nut. Inside there is a T30, so just hold because this turns, and it turns with a nut, so you hold it with the T30 in there. Basically like this, and then just spin the nut off with a ratchet spanner or whatever. On the top one I actually held the nut with the spanner, and then you just drive this through with the T30, and that's it. So we'll get a new set in, and then hopefully our suspension noises are sorted out. If there's anything else, we'll deal with it. But anyways, Tula's just finishing with the back brakes on that side. We'll just deactivate that maintenance shortly. Okay, I did go ahead and switch ignition on already. So let's go into maintenance, which is F1, and deactivate maintenance mode, and then you should hear the calipers running. There we go. You can hear both sides that go, so that's good, and we are done. We can cancel. So again, just before you go for a drive, pump that brakes, make sure you don't make an accident. Anyways, we're done with this car now for a couple days. We're going to wait for that turbo to come back from repair, and then we'll follow up again when we install it. Until next time, cheers. Good morning. We did, it's a couple days later, and we did get our turbo back for the Jeep from repair. Just a couple things that we need to talk about. When you do a turbo on any car, this goes for anything, you need to make sure that all the pipes is clean, extremely clean, because the smallest piece of debris can destroy your new turbo or newly reconditioned turbo. So the oil feed hose has to come off. You have to clean it with anything really, brake cleaner, thinners, any kind of solvent. Make sure it's clean. The oil drain, and especially the air inlet hose into the turbo. Yeah, coming from the dealers, I've seen it so many times where the smallest piece of debris, especially when the car sit and wait for parts for a while, dust and stuff, insects go into that pipe, and then the first startup, you have a funny noise and your turbo is damaged. So make sure everything is nice and clean. That is extremely important. Also on the downpipe side, that there's nothing in there sitting on top of the cat. It will break your heart if there's something in there. Anyways, got a turbo back, looking really good. Our wastegate problem is solved. Nice fresh bushing and new core, and it's ready to go. Then a couple new gaskets, new manifold gasket from Jeep, new oil return gasket, this little gasket that goes on the downpipe there, and this gasket that goes between manifold and turbo, and that's pretty much it. New gaskets. Make sure your hoses are clean, and you shouldn't have any problems. Obviously, needless to say, if any of those hoses you are concerned about cleanliness, go ahead and replace it. Don't take chances. Anyways, Diagnose is going to put the turbo back for us, and hopefully by the end of the day we got a customer back on the road. We'll update soon. Cheers.
They came out top, they will make your mind pop. No problem can hide, they will corner from the side. WG Auto, all the best to me. They be WG Auto, we will put them to the test. They came out top, they will make your mind pop. No problem can hide, they will corner on the side. G, O2, G, O2, G, O2, G, O2, G, O, PWG, Auto, all the best with me. PWG, Auto, we didn't put them to the test. Yeah, they came out top, they will make your mind pop. No problem can hide, they will corner on the side. PWG, Auto, you're the best to be.
Alright, so I am testing our Jeep with the cruise control on. I got it at low RPM. I think I'm in 4th gear. I set it to 75 kilometers an hour. So at this low RPM, you do labor the engine a little bit and you do command a lot of boost. So this was the customer's complaint using cruise control, and this is also a massive uphill. So this is the best way to test that kind of fault. Big uphill, command a lot of boost, use a cruise control, and this one seems to be holding perfectly. So our problem is solved, and the repair is confirmed. So yeah, Diagnose did fit the turbo for us. We did bleed the cooling system, oil level, double checked, everything good to go. So we're gonna get the car clean and get the customer to collect. Until next time, keep well.
G, O2, G, O2. G, O2, G, O2, G, O2.